I I absolutely love it when audio doesn't get captured.
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 You gotta
We can also
capture it
say
all.
we can say whatever we want right now.
Fear.
Don't say that. Don't give me that temptation.
Oh boy, there we are. Now we're audible.
Hey, it's working! It's working!
Are we? Okay, yay.
Yay. Okay,
Yay.
All right, there we go.
so
Now
I
you get to
start
re-say
over.
that really cool intro.
Yeah. Hello and good morning. Welcome back to Would Be Heroes' Break the Twilight Labyrinth. I am John. I am the GM, and last time the players were having they were having a bit of a time with downtime actions. They did some jobs. They did some operations. One of them got stabbed. It's all perfectly fine.
So
And-
normal.
So normal. And this week, and possibly for the next couple games, we have a guest joining us. Dora!
Yay.
Hi, I'm Pandora Beatrix, and I'll be playing. Well, I would have left it as a surprise, but it's under the scroll on the thing. Maybe you don't look at the
Sorry.
thing, so I'm just gonna not say it. If you look at the video, then you know. But if you're just listening, well, that's what you get.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Alright. And Saria.
Hey, I'm Saria. I'm playing Dalian the Battle Princess. We have mushrooms on us now since the last time.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun. We have mushroom sliders. They're yummy. We'll see if they get
You're
any
just
use.
not gonna mention what else they do?
Nah.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Alright. And... Ant.
Hi, I am Ant. I play Blurb, the Goblin Sage, who is pretty amazing and also does stuff. Oh, now has a cool new friend, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And finally, not freaking out at all, is Glitch.
Listen, I lost my entire character sheet right before we started chat, so I'm struggling right now. Today has been a day. You know who I'm playing. It'll be perfectly fit for the character. Who's also panicking. It works out perfectly.
Me that just go into just brain blast mode, like.
Literally very quickly and panically filling out my sheet right now. Anyways.
Yeah, some catastrophic events have occurred, but that's fine.
Can I...
Um,
Sorry, can I go run and get food super quick while we get
Yes.
started?
Yes, you
Thank
can.
you.
Can we also do run through the person who identified our audio issue earlier?
Oh,
Hi.
oh, I'm sorry. I too was panicking and thought that I had said Cosmo. So Cosmo.
Hi, I'm Cosmo. I'm playing Strange. We're all so mysterious today. But yeah, well, welcome to the technical issues episode.
Were we?
No, I'm pretty sure technical issues was the first episode where no one's audio
fair
came
dues.
through.
Fair dues. We did have like a full moment of silence while we were talking about how the money system worked, if memory recalls.
Technical issues episode part 2.
Yeah, happy to be here.
And let's see.
So where are we?
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I believe, if I remember correctly, we were on our way back down into the labyrinth.
That broke everything.
Oh, for reals? Oh,
How have I done this?
oh, yeah. That's different, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Fixed it.
I mean, okay.
Okay,
We're just
I gotta break it for like 5 more seconds to fix some stuff.
to fix it, you have to
This
break
is-
it for
It
the.
is. It is the
It's like a
break
leg.
RPG.
Yeah.
What did we miss?
Just more. The internet loves us today. Discord loves us. Twitch, yeah, all perfectly functional applications.
What?
And so I.
It was gone for like not even 5 minutes, guys. I just
Yeah,
went
don't
to
That's
worry
what
about
happens when you leave. Don't ever do it again.
the hot dog.
There we go. I have fixed everything. Oh, yeah, it is. It's gonna be one of those sessions.
Yeah, Dora's like, what the hell did I join?
We swear.
I mean,
Not in this sense.
I-
It's not used as chaotic.
this is nothing personal, but I do not have high expectations for most things that I get involved in.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
You don't
more of a
have to-
reflection on them having invited me than on them inviting me.
You know.
Fair enough.
All right. So,
Well, as we're kind of heading down there, Blurb's going to take the opportunity to show off their new kind of thing that they've kind of figured out, which is to cast their very useful cloud.
all right. What does your very useful cloud look like?
It looks like a cloud that's like super useful. It's it is. I mean, I have to say the picture of the very useful cloud in the book is like one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. So it's just like this little, like very sort of stereotypical cartoon cloud type thing with a very happy face on it. Like the kind of face that says, I really want to be helpful and I'm really like excited to, contribute kind of like a Thomas the Tank Engine type face, like that. I want to be a really useful engine. I want to be a really useful cloud, that kind of thing. But yeah, otherwise looks like sort of like a cartoon cloud, even with the like little black outline. Yeah. And yeah, just kind of floats around in the air and tries to be helpful.
That's so cool. Can I just hold on? Strange is gonna try to like bat at the cloud gently, see if he can stick his hand inside it, or if it's solid.
Well, according to the description, the cloud is oddly sturdy despite its gaseous nature. And it's about the size of a large cushion. So there you go. You like that? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for Strange to do that. But yeah, we kind of get a weird kind of, yeah. So I'm going to say it feels kind of like a pillow too.
Yeah. Oh, it's very soft. Oh, that's very good. That's napping material.
Helpful indeed.
Yeah. I mean, you could ask it like if you wanted to like have a nap. I'm sure it would oblige. I mean, it wants to be helpful.
I mean, I do like a nap.
So,
But
as the party is surrounding Blurb's very helpful cloud and poking it and prodding it and making it chuckle like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Mesa's not doing that. I'd like that to be well known. Mesa's not including this.
Yeah, Mesa just has Bob on his shoulder.
It's like, why are we poking and prodding at this thing? None of us learned our lesson.
Oh yeah, the cloud is definitely ticklish. Yes.
But yeah, as
Definitely.
this is going on, our camera is going to pull back and pull back further and further, and soon the camera has left the city of Greylight. It has left the Twilight Meteran. It has left the planet entirely. And after some very cheesy 80s style hyper space effects, the camera finds itself in the very sterile, clean, reducted spaceship. And upon the redacted spaceship is, I believe, a young woman. Is that
Indeed.
correct? All right, so go ahead and give us a description of this young woman.
She is in her she's in her mid-20s. She has not quite shoulder length brown hair. She has brown eyes. She looks very average in appearance. She is wearing a sort of weird stylized jacket with a very warm yellow part on the shoulders and top, and black pants that for some reason have no pockets. She is also she's also carrying a number of fairly unidentifiable boxes and widgets and things, many of which glow for no apparent reason.
All right. And what is this young lady doing at this
Currently,
at this time?
she is at this particular moment she's swearing. That is because she is attempting to fix for the 9th time this week one of the power conduits in the area of the ship that she is in, and every single time it has broken in a different and inappropriate way. This time there appears to be peanut butter involved, and she has no good explanation for that, but she has stopped asking.
Yeah, that's fair. So, yeah, she's sitting there with all of her little widgets and gadgets, cleaning the peanut butter out of this power conduit and making sure all the connectors are cleaned and connected in the correct spots. And as she is working, let's see, what was the little device you had?
Which one? I have many.
It was your polycorder.
Yes, the finicky polycorder, yes.
Yes. So as you're working and getting this cleaned up, your polycorder it falls out of its little holstery doodad, since you don't have pockets, and you kind of watch as this finicky, dinged up little scanner just kind of bounces around on the floor a little bit and slides into a different room of this little maintenance area. And go ahead.
Oh, she was just gonna say, for shit's sake.
Yeah.
And then go chasing after it.
Yeah. So you
now she has to
go
repair
and
her polycorder holster.
yeah. So you start making your little mental checklist of things that you now have to fix. And as you're chasing the polycorder, it finally stops skidding around the place. And as you lean down to pick it up, there are 3 things that catch your attention. The first is you appear to have gone into some room of the ship that has wooden floorboards. That's weird. The second thing is all the boops and beeps and little electrical sounds of the maintenance shaft have completely vanished. And the third is the air smells different. It does not smell like the sterilized, recycled air of the redacted. And
Yeah, generally, if there's not peanut butter involved, the air does not have a smell.
yeah, and it kind of smells like a bakery, almost. Like you smell a lot of pastry type scents and a lot of bread type scents. And as you stand up and look around, you appear to be in a wooden and stone building. Looks like it might have been a restaurant. Seems like it has been converted into some other business. And sitting at a counter nearby is a child, dark skin, curly hair. Next to her on the table is a wide-brimmed hat with a huge plume coming out of it. And the child seems to be making notes in a book. A rather large book. And as you stand up and turn around, the door you have come to does not lead back to the redacted. It seems like it leads out into a street of a pretty standard, like, fantasy setting. In
Sure.
Yeah, like from the state of the sun outside, you assume it's either dusk or dawn. It's kind of that twilighty time period.
Okay. Has the child noticed me yet?
As you look around, you see the child glance up, go back to their book, and then she stops, and then she like just fully looks up at you again, and she cocks an eyebrow, and then she says something in complete gibberish, just like blah 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 blah.
Tasi's gonna poke her personal log to see if this fits in the very limited non-universal translation functions it has been given.
She sees you do that, and then she takes a deep breath, reaches under the counter, pulls out a book, and she seems to just start reading aloud from the book. And your device chirps and says, unidentified language detected. Translating. Translation at 72%. Viable for simple conversation. Translation at 80%. And as it's going up, you can start actually understanding what the child is saying. And she seems to be reading something between like a cookbook, like a fantasy novel, and The Quick Brown Fox Jumped Over the Lazy Dog. And
okay.
Yeah, as your little device chirps, she looks up again and says, do you need me to keep reading, or can you, like, hear me now?
Yes, I can understand you now, if that's what you mean. I could hear you before. That's probably not what you were asking.
No, that's understandable. Okay, let's see. You... Okay, you're dressed like one of those people. Okay, give me a second here. And she flips through this big book she's reading, and she's like, looks back up at you and says, okay, you're like from space? You're from
mean-
off-world?
What a great question. What, for sake of argument, would you call the place where we are now?
Oh, this is the outer world. You are currently within gray light of the Twilight Meridian.
Okay. So, I work in space. I'm not from space.
Okay, fair enough.
But you've seen someone who looks like this before?
She's writing down in the book, and she says, me, not specifically, but your kind are not uncommon around here. Well, not your deal in particular. Just, we have some references for individuals who come from different places, I'll say. The standard classification is dimensional stray, with subcategories being determined on basically how you dress. You're in what appears to be a military type uniform, or perhaps an exploratory.
Quasi-military, actually.
Okay. And she makes another note. Quasi-military.
It's mostly flavor. We shoot things a lot. I don't.
Understandable. Alright, so. Let's see. Do you know how you came to be here?
Nope, but that is not unusual.
That is not unusual.
I mean,
Typically,
it is slightly unusual, but that there was no visual effect. But not, by no means unprecedented. Sorry.
No, it's perfectly understandable. 9 times out of 10, dimensional strays such as yourself appear to be hit by some form of vehicle. So, I suppose congratulations for not dying in your dimension, possibly.
Well, sorry, I'm going to have to dig into a few things here. When you say, is dying how people normally get here? By being struck by a vehicle?
That seems to be a very common occurrence for dimensional strays. Our sages do not understand why that is, but it seems as though death is the most common way that someone from the other world finds themselves here. But
Well,
sometimes they just go through the wrong door.
I mean, given how things are on the Reginald, I can't rule out that I instantly died without noticing why. That is unfortunately also not unprecedented. I'm going to just assume for the moment, though, that it was the door thing. I mean, it could very well have been something involving the weird door people. That is actually a thing. But for a second, I'm just gonna say some nonsense things. You don't have to pay attention. It's fine. Is that okay? It's gonna be weird and distracting, and I'm making a bigger deal out of it than it is. I'm just gonna
go ahead. People cope with finding themselves here in different ways.
Yeah, I have a standard thing. It's just a list of things that I do. Like, first, I say computer end program.
Yeah, that hasn't worked yet.
Okay. No, it never does. Okay. Tussie will tap her comm badge, which makes an agreeable chitter noise. It says, Blake to Reginald.
You get some
Blake
pretty
to
gnarly
anyone?
static in return.
Yeah. Okay. Neat. Well, So, you know about space. How do you get into space from here?
Us? We don't really have a reason to go into space. The last time someone went into space, they broke the sun machine.
That's something that I've never heard before, um, but also distressingly plausible. Okay. Um,
Yeah, I suppose if you really want to get into space, we might be able to get the Goblin Engineering Union involved, but I would not like your chances if in that particular scenario.
okay. Well, fair enough. I'm going to, I guess, uh, do you, do you use money here? Is that a thing?
She nods, like, yeah. Uh, most other worlders who come through here also use money, so do.
I mean, we try not to, but we do anyway sometimes. It depends. I've got something I'll have to check in the buffer. It's clear, like, visually at this point, her having, like, moved around a little bit, that she is in fact wearing a fairly large, obviously weird otherworld device on her back. It also has lights that have no immediately obvious function. But she is going to, like, sort of poke at the part of it that she can reach to her side, and then there's a little, like, blue and white shimmer with a pleasing sound, and then there are some weird bits of metal in her hand. Do these things look like they would be valuable here?
The child, like, sits up, kind of squints at him and says, okay, those are... okay, they
I don't know
appear to
I don't know
have...
if you have the words for it. These are, we call them nonsense liquid metal inside gold.
Okay, the gold, makes sense.
I mean, it's an incredibly small amount of gold. Let me just be clear. It is mostly nonsense liquid metal.
Yeah, I don't think that could purchase much by itself. What? Let's see. She looks back at her book. What kind of job did you have previously on this pseudo-militaristic, space structure thing?
Quasi.
Quasi-military.
Pseudo would be like the weird dumb space people, I guess. I am an engineer. Did that translate? He said
Mechanic, yeah.
Sure, we'll say that.
Oh, are you more of a civil engineer?
I mean, I've had broad training. I do a lot of things. Mostly I fix the ship, but I have done things planet side when it's necessary. I made an aqueduct once. I mean, made is a strong word. I set some things up and then they made an aqueduct while I watched, but... Did aqueduct translate?
Yes, we do have aqueducts here.
Okay, good.
She scratches her chin a little bit and she's like, well, if you would like some money, because the dimensional stray event, sometimes it will end on its own and the stray will be sent back to their home. Sometimes it seems to be a permanent situation. So, on the off chance that it is permanent, I'm going to set you up with a pretty light job. It's mostly an exploratory type situation. That should get you enough gold to get yourself started here. And in the meantime, I will contact the Dimensional Stray Assistance Association, and I will see how we can either get you living accommodations or some monetary accommodations. We might be able to find someone who is willing to purchase your nonsense liquid metal coins off of you for a higher amount than what you would get just from trading the currency in for ours. There's quite a few people, especially here, who like collecting dimensional oddities.
That's probably fine. You seem very helpful. Are you like sorry, I'm Pertusha or Pertusha. I never say it. Just say Tussie. Blake. And you are?
She grabs the little hat and puts it on and hops off of this basically booster seat she's been sitting on. Walks over to you, and now you see that she's kind of like wearing like a full musketeer's regalia with a rapier, like a normal sized rapier across her back, and she says, I'm Guildmaster Rosie. Welcome to the Delvers Guild.
Thank you. Just a minor cultural question. By any chance, do your people like? There's no frame of reference. Do you start out small and then get larger as you get older, or the other way around, or?
She kind of grins and gives you the follow me gesture and says, no, I am a chib. This is about as large as I will grow. We do start off somewhat smaller when we are infants, but yeah, for the most part, I am fully grown.
Okay. Apologies if that was offensive, but I have no real training with that, so.
Yeah, it's understandable. Whenever you're dealing with dimensional strays, they don't really understand some of us, I'll say. And as she is leading you through this very quaint fantasy village, you are struck by just all the smells of delicious food being cooked and all these different creatures just milling about. Yeah, you don't see too many humans, but you see like what appear to be elves. You see like these very rocky, squat individuals, these large, green-skinned, bestial fellows. You see a couple of androids walking about. And as you're following her, she checks a little compass every now and then, and she's like, okay, I think they're this way. And you follow her until you walk out of the walls of the city. And soon enough, you wind up coming up to what appears to be a blacksmith. And there you see a group of eclectic individuals who are all poking, or who mostly all are poking and prodding at this giggling, sentient, cloud-like creature. And As you get closer, Rosie kind of coughs to get everyone's attention and says, "Alright, Team Shiny Rock, you have a special guest for the foreseeable future. This is Tussie. She is a dimensional stray, and she will be accompanying you on your next delve into the labyrinth so that we can get her some money and get her settled here in Greylight."
Can I just say I totally forgot our team name was Shiny Rock?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Selected via the Shiny Rock.
Shiny Rock. How could you forget?
Mesa remembers that he has that on his person.
So, you know what? Everyone go ahead and describe your characters for Dora. We will start with Saria.
All right, yeah. So, so you'll see one of the people in the group appears human, maybe? If he is, he's certainly way more out there. For he has this like long black hair that covers kind of about half his face and it's like tied with like a bunch of different flowers. His overall outfit is very green and extravagant, with like this big lily pad-esque hat. And in that hat you might catch some movement of one of the flowers on it. And you see that there is in fact like a frog flower on the hat.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's like, and it looks like he's looking at you like, new person.
Alright. And
Silently staring at them, not saying anything? Okay.
Not
Well,
yet.
this is Tuzzy taking everyone in and presumably a
Yeah.
longish glance.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
unless people are talking, in which case we're into different time segments. So
Yeah.
you do you.
So yeah, moving on from Dalian, we will see Strange.
Hi. So Strange is he's a cat man. There's not really another way to say it. He has an orange tail and ears and orange hair and then kind of a human-y face, except it's got kind of a little fangly smile and like just eyes that are way too wide for his face that are yellow and little claws coming out of his fingers. One of his arms is currently in a sling. That arm appears to be encased in a big, weird gauntlet of some sort. Looks definitely too big for this kind of like... He's kind of a noodly boy, for his noodly arms. And he is definitely, like, locked in, full like, oh, what's going on here? This is neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you do catch Rosie just kind of like giving an eyebrow at the giant gauntlet. But then Tussie's vision falls across Blurb.
Blurb is a goblin. Blurb is very small, probably around the same size as the person you first met. Bright green skin and incredibly rotund. There is a very large belly there, with a button nose, and kind of almost always has a smile, but with really big, like, sharp teeth. And wears bright red, kind of very sort of expressive and elaborate robes. Carries a staff, which on closer inspection is actually a very large, long horn. And will sort of, on that sort of introduction, will sort of stride up quite confidently, and then sort of, sorry, I've forgotten your character's name. Tussie?
Tuzzy.
will sort of sort of poke Tussie kind of in the stomach and sort of say, "Dimensional stray. I haven't seen one like this close before. Fascinating." And then we'll hand Tussie these very small sort of finger symbols and say, "Welcome to our group."
The tiny symbols.
And
Wait, can I
Thank you.
quickly ask to do like an insight roll for funsies if Dalian knows anything about dimensional strays?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, just like I just want to know if he's gonna just assume normal human. Anyway, I'm gonna just
I
add
should
the
also
odd and
I should
arcane.
also make an insight check because of the whole personal log thing and Akenia adventure.
Ooh. Rough
Yeah.
start, fellas. Rough start.
Dalian is assuming that this person is so normal. This actually makes sense for Dalian, considering how not normal he is himself.
I mean, compared to, like,
He's like, yeah, compared to me, they look normal.
Yeah,
They-
they're normal.
Yeah, this is a person.
Yeah.
Like literally, like he's from like the Fey, like basically that equivalent of like the Feywild in this world. Like he's seen everything, and he's like, yeah, this is normal.
All right. So you had a personal log.
Yes, it's reflavored, it's a reflavored couple of things, but one of them is Otherworld Pocket Device, so it has.
Oh, okay, yeah.
maybe some information.
All right. So data without fail an insight check while attempting to recall a piece of information. You may consult your log. Okay. So, yeah, as you are receiving these finger symbols and just wide-eyed stares, you almost don't catch him because he seems like he is trying to actively distance himself from the rest of the group. But there is another individual hanging out here. And why don't you describe Meza?
I mean, how to describe Mesa? Yeah, so Mesa is like trying to stand as far away from the group as possible, like purposefully, so while still being able to like keep an eye on them. And he has like just plain black clothing with like a red kind of like sash or scarf around his waist. Lots of like not really jewelry but kind of accessories on him. One kind of like wrapped around his arm, and then a bunch on his like sash. A few tattoos here and there. Sorry, I'm trying to remember my own character's description off the top of my head after remaking my character sheet. A lot of scars along his skin and on his face. Specifically, I think the thing that would stand out the most would be his eyes, which one is like more of like a goldish and the other is a blue in color. Black hair with like with like a white streak like in the front. And then like some kind of like armor on that he's still clearly kind of like fitting on. It's also all black in color. And then there's a little creature sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, it appears to be a large grub.
But grub. His name is Bob.
Yeah, it's just chewing away on something.
Yeah.
Maybe a little strand of grass.
And
also, for anybody who's seen Thunderbolts, I am now so happy with myself for like naming him Bob. That was totally a coincidence. I love it. It fits.
Now I gotta go watch Thunderbolts. Thanks.
Haven't seen it yet.
It fits.
But yeah, so Rosie kind of
Yeah, he's sitting in the corner, like arms crossed, like I really don't want to be here. Attitude.
Rosie motions at Tussie and says, "All right, you all are responsible for their safety, and I would appreciate if they come back in one piece. Do not take any unnecessary risks. Just get some treasure and get back out, and by then I will hopefully have the DSAA ready with some living situations."
Are you sure you want to put them with this group?
You guys,
What's wrong with our group?
One
I
piece.
don't see why
I'm
not.
sorry. Why are you asking me that question when you still have that gauntlet on your arm?
Listen, I had to figure
I
out
don't
what it
think you're
did
gonna talk
somehow.
right now, Strange. Actually,
It's fine. It's
it's
fine.
really not. It is still eating away at your flesh.
Listen. As long as I don't try to use it, it doesn't do that. So it's fine.
It's still not off your
It's
arm.
just. But we know how to get it off, so it's fine.
I ask
Rose-
again. Are you sure you want to put them with this group?
Rosie
Wouldn't let them put their arm in a weird
sighs.
gauntlet. That's for me to do.
and says, as of right now, your team is the only one with a spot available and who is currently out of the labyrinth. Do not wear armor of mysterious origin until you have it identified.
Can you tell them
Please.
that?
I know that now.
You should have known that before. Strange.
Don't eat anything
Rosie.
without preparing it. Yes.
Rosie, you mentioned you would appreciate if they come back in one piece.
Yes.
Does it matter whether alive or not?
We
I
would
think
prefer
the alive was
alive.
fine.
It matters to me, but
Yes.
I
Okay.
hope you will all be alive.
Well, I know, but I just want to make sure I'm understanding the requirements.
Yes, alive.
Okay.
We can do that.
We've
Rosie-
managed it quite well so far.
None of us has died yet.
Yeah.
Rosie
May as well
kind of
be-
motions for Tussie to like come down to her level for a moment, and
she will agreeably crouch.
and she will kind of just like whisper to her. All right, they seem a bit eclectic, but they
I feel like you're under.
she like these pauses are in her voice, and she says they're more competent than they appear, and if it looks like they're about to get you killed, just come back out.
Run. Yeah, it's good
Get
advice.
out of there.
I'm used to both of those things, so
Okay.
sure.
At least
Thank you.
a couple of them have good track records on adventuring.
Sure.
So yeah, Rosie will let Tussie stop crouching, and she will check a little pocket watch and say, "All right, I have paperwork that still needs filing, so show Tussie around if need be. Remember to bring her with you on your next delve, and have a good day." And
Thanks, Rosie.
Thank you, Rosie.
She will turn on her
Thank
heels
you,
and start
Rosie.
marching back towards the city. And
Oh, actually, one question to Strange. You said do we know how to take this off now?
Yeah. So Blurb and Cha-Cha figured it out. So it turns out that the gauntlet itself is like pretty normal, but there's like a parasite living inside it. So what we need to do is we need to get a
Delicious
specific
one.
I, oh, let's not find out if again. Anyway, point is, I just need to get a specific kind of plant, and then we can use that to purge the parasite, and then it'll just be a really cool gauntlet.
And a meal.
Yeah, and Blurb will have a snack. It worked. I mean, now I'm curious. No, I probably shouldn't.
Dalian is thinking to himself, and this is where, out of character, I ask, hey.
Yeah.
So, Compassion Cure says, with a touch, you can attempt to remove a psychological, physical, or magical ailment from someone you care about. Does this count as any of that? Also, this ability cannot be used for situational ailments, like toppled, restrained, and overburdened.
I don't know if it's an ailment, because it's kind of like a...
Yeah.
It's just
like
like
I don't imagine I would be
thing.
able to actually, like, get the claw off, but...
Well, I feel like it depends. I feel like a parasite could be considered an ailment.
But the
Depending on
parasite's
the context.
gauntlet, isn't there? I don't know.
And either way, I still would need to roll, like, an aura and pass it to even, like, have it work.
Let's see. Yeah, I will let you roll your aura, and I will tell you what occurs and or what you learn.
Strange, do I have your permission to do this?
I mean, I guess in character, what are you gonna tell Strange what you're gonna do?
Yeah, in character, Dalian's gonna be like, There's a technique I've been practicing during the past couple days. Would you mind if I try it?
I mean,
this? Or
just
I guess it won't make it worse. Maybe.
Well, I guess. Sorry, I just looked at Glitch's screen.
Mesa is going to have an aneurysm by
I
the
was
end.
just going to say that you guys say things that you think, like, in character, like, everybody says things that they think sound so reassuring, but to any sane person, sound terrifying.
Well, let's,
Okay.
I guess, here's
So
the
it's
thing.
aura, yeah?
It's aura, yeah, Strange will be like, well, I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt?
It shouldn't.
Good enough!
Not any more than when
Well, Tussie's
Blurb stabbed it.
Tussie's remaining quiet and just absorbing important cultural details, but she is going to, like, surreptitiously get out her polycorder to just... Because flesh eating something... Anything with flesh eating attached to it really is something that she wants to have information about before she doesn't leave. So
Fair enough.
she will discover, unfortunately, that the polycorder is even more finicky here.
Okay, so
Yeah. So, does that mean I can roll aura?
Yes.
do it.
Yay! Okay. Let's go.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's not going well for us today, chat.
Did this, our first run?
So that is
Okay.
a nat 20, which in Break
Oh,
is
that's
a
a fumble.
failure, a
That's a
critical
fumble.
fumble. So,
Oh no.
yeah, Dalian, you're looking at this gauntlet. You find the parasite. You start fiddling with it and trying your compassion cure.
I get
And
infected.
actually, while you are messing with the exposed parasite near the elbow portion of the gauntlet, it seems to ripple, and then it secretes this fluid that hardens, and the whole parasite has now like encased itself in more of this obsidian-looking metal-like substance. And the parasite is no longer like open to the air.
How rude.
And the polycorder, it chirps.
Well, first off,
and-
it's supposed to make like a series of like 3 different like very very quiet and soothing beeping noises, but they are very very loud now, and that's itself a distracting problem.
Yeah.
But mostly she's still focused on the parasite thing.
Ooh, you play music?
Not on purpose.
Oh, that's even better.
Oh.
But yeah, the polycorder does give you
she
some.
still has this tiny symbols in one of her hands. She's not even addressed that yet.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so yeah, scanning the gauntlet with the polycorder, it tells you that it is indeed a parasitic type creature. It seems to be a advanced form of slime mold, and yeah, judging from what you have just seen, it seems as though it has a defensive measure of secreting the material the gauntlet is made out of as a shell.
I did notice that.
And more than likely it is a flesh eater, according to what people around you have been saying.
Great. But it seems even more contained to this person's arm now, so...
Yep.
Ostensibly less of a threat to me personally.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, it
Thanks.
seems he doesn't like me.
It's okay. I appreciate you trying.
So, it should be presumed that I don't know anything about anything. I'm pretty quick at picking things up as I go, and that is very standard. If that is just how this is going to go, I can infer things from context. But if you want to info dump me, feel free. Totally.
Yeah. Oh, right. I don't think any of us actually did. Or Blurb gave his name, right?
Not most of the names were not said out loud. No. So yeah, I'm Pertasha Blake. Tussie is easier than all of that. I'm gonna leave off that instant thing. That is a whole other explanation.
Nice to meet you. I'm
I am-
Strange.
I am
Strange
Blurb. I'm Blurb. I'm quite well known, so it's good to remember that. And this is my very helpful cloud. And I just came up with the perfect name for it. So I'm going to call my cloud Wayne.
Perfect.
Say that again?
Wayne.
Okay.
W-A-Y-N-E. Wayne. It's a
Well,
very,
it's-
very nice name.
Spelled normally.
It's a human name.
It is a nice name.
Great name.
Yeah, agreed. So,
Mm.
yeah. Strange, Blurb,
Thank you.
who pointed at the cloud, Wayne. And then motion to Dalian.
My name is Dalian. I do love your outfit.
Thanks.
And this one up here is Lolo, and he's just pointing up to like the frog with like a lotus flower growing out of its back.
The frog waves at you and ribbits.
I'll do my best to make sure we get out of this unscathed. Maybe a little bit
Great.
scathed. One scathed.
It's fine. I'll take this game.
Sorry, this
I
magic
think
stuff's
because
still
it's
a little
expected that
beneath
Meso's
my
going to introduce himself next, he kind of like looks at the group with like a, do I have to?
Everyone
look-
turns.
Turns to Mesa.
And he's like,
rapt attention.
I hate this. Don't all look at me like that. Could you not?
Strange's eyes get bigger.
This is still the strangest group of people I have ever been around, and you are going to get yourselves killed without me. That hasn't changed in the slightest. Hi, I'm Meza. I am unfortunately also here, and, I will do my best to make sure you don't die.
Thank you.
Meza is our moral support.
I am definitely not that.
Hmm.
Definitely not that.
Are we almost ready to go?
I think
Do you need
so.
anything? Do you have food?
I
Oh.
have emergency rations.
Oh, good.
Tussie will again poke the very large device on her back and with little chimey lights.
How
Some
many?
Strange
bars
loves
will
this.
appear in her hand. They count as, for game system terms, they count as treats. They are very dense in carbs and protein.
Are they dry or?
I mean, they're half dry.
I don't think that they're slippery.
No, they're not like juicy.
Yeah, Web's not interested.
They also probably have wrappers.
Oh.
Oh, in which case Strange is like, huh, that looks cool. Do you eat the whole thing, or do you...
No!
I wouldn't
Strange
recommend
cannot
eating the
eat any
outside.
weird
No.
things.
Not
Wait,
great
Liz,
for that.
it was one
Well,
time.
if you need worms, let me know.
Yeah, we should have. You only have 3.
I have regular human food that you can eat if you need it.
Yeah, I have extra food. It's.
I also
Not
brought some
food.
extras.
Do not take food from the goblin.
Okay, I
Well,
very much appreciate that. Is this labyrinth thing like a multi-day kind of thing? Also,
Yes.
just
Mhm.
offhandedly, is this like sort of seen as an oppressive societal problem, but everyone just sort of goes along with it? Thing, labyrinth.
No, the labyrinth is
Really?
more.
Is it fine?
It
As
just
far
kind
as
of like
we know, it looks like a maze to me.
it just kind of showed up one day, and then they sent guards in to check it out, and all of them died.
I think they only said like 13 died. That's not all of them.
Most of them died.
It's a source
and
of
then
cash.
and then they made a guild. I still don't fully understand why, but they made a guild so that they could get people to go in to this place, which they are calling a labyrinth, and just like kind of have at it. Any treasures that we find in there, we can go and sell or keep
And
if we want.
have people in fact found treasures?
Oh yeah, we
Yes.
found some last
We
time.
found that.
Found them
Points
and
to
stuff.
the gauntlet.
A giant handway.
Is everything that we're counting as a treasure that kind of thing?
No,
I
also
mean-
found this. Donna takes out like the broken whimsy stone, which is just like, it looks like an orb. It is not glowing. It looks like a standard orb, but it's got like cracks in it and all that. And he's just like, we had another one that was like this, but like glowing and could do weird things. This one's broken. I kept it.
Yeah, I think we had like skeleton pieces. We found a gold piece in a disappointing treasure chest.